Hi guys, I'm just hopping on today to just briefly talk about it. I know a lot of things are going on the internet right now, so I'm just taking some screenshots to show you guys what's going on over here with GME and AMC. I think that this is just important to stay updated, and I know a lot of people might lose their heads and think like, oh, this thing has to go to 1,000. I just really quickly wanted to talk about it with you guys. Briefly, okay, guys, I have to hang out with wifey. This is the only time we get, right? This is the only time we get is around this time of night when Ari goes to sleep. When our baby girl goes to sleep, she sleeps pretty hard at night, so we actually get to hang out. We're going to go watch Ink Master. It's going to be dope, but I wanted to get some people in here. Please smash the like button. We need a bunch of people in here to understand what is going on with GME and AMC and know how to kind of navigate this. It is not going to be just a straight up road. If it is, great. Awesome if it is. I highly doubt it will be, and I think the overall volatility that was happening towards the end of the day on Friday, I've said this over and over again, that it was manipulated to pay for AMC and GME. And now we have something that came out. And I think we still could see the pump, Miles. I actually think we could still see the pump, okay? We're going to talk about it once we get some people in here, guys. So just smash that like button. We need to see. I don't want to start talking about it until we get, at least the regulars who are in here, okay? We need to at least get the regulars in here who show up every single day and support me and my channel. Thank you so much. First of all, a lot of people, asking questions over the weekend about the course. I've tried to get back to you as much as possible. And we actually gave some trade setups this weekend. So let's talk about that. If you were part of the Patreon, we actually posted this guy right here. And actually it proved itself on a 4-hour too, if you were paying attention. And now look at that. Bitcoin is running. Just know that this most likely will be rug pulled once the real GME and AMC moment happen. This is why I kept talking about it. The market, I actually don't even know if it'll depend on the data at all this week. I think we might just see a run up and then see that rug pull once they need to pay for this GME and AMC stuff. So we could see a rigged market for a little bit. Maybe it takes some time to play out, right? But we can pay attention to it. If our crash signal makes it, we'll pay attention. But the trade setup that we did give over the weekend was Bitcoin, and we actually went into a 2-hour to show you. So here's the 2-hour signal that I saw. It has not curved back down on this MACD yet. You notice it tried to, but it didn't. So it's still close to negative territory, hasn't broken out, but good sign here that some upside's coming for Bitcoin. So we'll pay attention to that going forward. This week will be crazy, too much data coming up. It is very true. And what they're going to do is they're not going to say anything about people having to, I bet money that the main media does not say anything about people having to liquidate options. They're not going to talk badly about these hedge funds, most likely. Now, you will get one-off people who get interviewed who will talk badly about these short sellers. I can't remember who it was, but I was watching one guy who's a big investor. He's always on CNBC, and he was the only one talking about how these short sellers, and he took a big position. Your course help with Bitcoin and crypto? Yes, it will. You just want to make sure not to be doing 30-minute. Now we need to add a crypto section or something like that, but you want to make sure not to be doing a 30-minute, a 2-hour, and a daily, right? I always say a daily is still fine, a 2-hour is still fine, but your 2-hour is pretty much your 30-minute. Your 4-hour is pretty much your 2-hour. If you want to kind of like relate them back to the course, what you would follow for the 30-minute, you would follow for the 2-hour chart on Bitcoin. What you would follow for the 2-hour chart in my course, you would follow for the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. And you can still trade daily signals, yes. How many videos are in your course? It's pretty brief. I think there's maybe 12 videos. I just added to it. And like I said, I still am going to keep adding to it if I see something valuable. So if we need to just discuss real quickly, like something like you just mentioned, if I wanted to mention how to trade coins, any kind of crypto, we could mention that as well. We might add that to the course. That's going to be a short one. But my whole course is based on the fact that I think people think that and by the way, I think in the description it says $200. Maybe, hopefully it says 100 by Friday. It's still $100, but overall, I think that would be a quick one to add. That'd be a good little one to add. Something that says crypto and how you can use my strategies. Now, you don't have weekly ranges for crypto, so that's a big deal. Weekly ranges are a big part of the strategy. Okay, we're going to talk about GME and AMC once we get some people in here. We need the regulars in here. Smash that like button. I'm not going to be able to go live long, so that's why I'm asking you blatantly, hit the like button for me, please, because we need to get some people in here so I can talk to you guys about GME and AMC. I don't want you guys to get too overexcited. It is exciting, but we need to make sure to keep our heads on a swivel here, okay? We need to keep our heads about us. Now we're looking at Bitcoin right now. What we're going to talk about is GME. And remember, GME, we said this was bullish. And look at the 4 hour even, it looks bullish. But the 2 hour was able to go positive here. And we were mainly talking about this 30-minute able to go positive. It is in positive territory. Sorry, our old dog is trying to go upstairs, and I don't want him. He's got a bad bladder, so I have to like watch him like a hawk. Let me close this real quick, and I'll start talking about this. You guys hear me yell at a dog? He's probably peeing on my rug by me, and I'd be pissed, but I'll try not to get too mad at him. He's old, okay? So what were we talking about with GME? Well, in the video that you probably just watched, if you just watched my YouTube video, you saw GME positive territory. I was talking very positive about it. There's nothing negative about GME here. That is very important to understand. Positive trend, green bars. Positive territory, positive trend, 2 hour. Where is it? Positive territory. It was able to get there. It is positive. This is where you have to talk positively about the stock until it rolls over. Where's the daily? Now, the daily is the only one where you could maybe have something bearish to say, right? You could say this is in a pullback, but it's still in a positive trend. So I'm going to talk about how to actually trade this thing so that you know, because this is going to be rigged. It is going to still be fought by short sellers, in my opinion, unless we see the market go down, unless we see NVIDIA, AMD, and Tesla go down. Those have the biggest implied volatility. So I highly, highly assume that those are going to be the ones that are the rug pull. So we're going to pay attention to this, okay? We're going to pay attention to this because right now you're just seeing buying. You're most likely not seeing the short sellers have to buy back in. But if any kind of surge happens, we want to make sure to pay attention to if those orders are getting filled. But just so you know, I'm going to pull up some stuff here so you guys can see it. This is what he tweeted. Obviously, it's funny. I mean, the Uno reverse card, this is stating how it's about to reverse. The 99% is about to change with the 1%. I think it's very, very funny. Not a lot to read in there. Now we have this, okay, this is a big, big move, okay, 20% overnight, and this is already halted. Just so you know, this is already halted. And to do that in the overnight market, that's some weird behavior. It is. It happens every once in a while, but that's a very quick halt. You see it, it immediately pumps. Now, that could be because of the tweet. That's not necessarily the short sellers having to buy back into the position. Let's see real quick. Then I have one more screenshot to show you, and I didn't pull it up. I need to pull it up real quick. But one more screenshot was his position, okay? I'm going to show you guys his position. This is confirmed to be his position. He posted it on Twitter. This is just an in-depth version of it, okay? This right here, these are all of the dates where he was buying these calls, okay? He was buying calls on this all the time. This is Roaring Kitty. He was buying the $20 call. This is probably why my call option at $19.50 and $20 looked all wonky this week. I do have one for the 21st, so that's probably why that one looks a little bit weird. Yeah, and AMC is not going to trade in the overnight market. I don't think it trades in the overnight market, but this is it. Okay, so if you total this and the stock that he bought, he posted that as well, like the amount of GME stock, he has like $180 million worth. $180 million in this play, and he apparently, according to the calls, thinks all of it is going to happen by the 21st of June. Isn't that wild? I think that that's wild. So what I wanted to talk about here is how to actually trade this. Now we have 78 people in here. That's all we need. The regulars, hopefully you guys are here. Welcome. I'm sorry I'm not saying hi. I really need to just pump this out so that we can move on and I can go watch some Ink Master with wifey, and then we can get some good sleep. And I will be live early tomorrow morning, okay? Do you think there are halts overnight? They set a 20% limit above or below the closing price, I think. Well, yes, but notice that that doesn't usually pop up until the move actually happens. They decide to halt it at that point. So that can be true. That can be true. It probably maybe even depends on the market maker, the platform. But overall, you would just say, of course they're going to halt it overnight, right? Of course they're going to halt it overnight. The way that I'm more phrasing it, I'm not so much worried about the halt at 20%. I'm more just telling you, you see that first halt already in the overnight market. This is most likely not going to just be, oh, tomorrow GME goes to $10,000. I don't think it will be that. I think that there still will be suppression in the stock. Now, I think you got a good shot of seeing something crazy. But what could that craziness be? What do we want to pay attention to? I really think this is it. I think a 15-minute is what you really want to pay attention to. So if we notice in this big pop right here, your signal to get out, right, when something bad could happen is the 15-minute. What do we notice right here? Well, we cross down. Okay, so this would tell me there's risk to downside. So you see the big pop. You bought down here by the center line maybe, right? 5-minute chart, I don't know. But as of right now, if you're in this move and you see some kind of big move like this, the 15-minute will tell you when to get out. Look at that 15-minute. It told you right here there is no more reason for upside. That's when the suppression of the stock happened. I think the 15-minute is going to be something to really follow. And sure, you're not going to catch the exact top, but it will keep your risk managed. And this isn't saying sell everything. I'm going to, at least, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to sell a quarter of my position if I see this. If I see a downturn, I'm going to apply more if that turns back up in positive territory like it should have right here before it got halted, before the suppression of the stock. Okay, that's what I'm going to do, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think a 15-minute will be very telling. We already went through the apparently halting. Okay, real quick about halting. Halting is something that they put in place to help the retail market people and the other. They use it as a way to say, we give you a 15-minute break to see what is going on, so you can accumulate, so you can get your thinking together with the trade that you are about to place. But since there is sporadic price action, that is a total fucking lie. That is a total fucking lie, because all it does is it gives 15 minutes to allow whoever is bigger, the rich people, to buy positions in the dark pool that can suppress the stock. That is why most of the time after a stock is starting to surge up, you will see at least a pullback or some kind of suppression of the price when a halt is implemented. Halting is only, yes, that's a good way to look at it, Miles, because most retail can't really trade in the dark pools, right? So what is happening? In the dark pools, they put all those positions. So halting really only affects retail traders, but they will word it as a way to save you guys, right? That's not what it is. You are not dumber than these people. Actually, that is a very good point to make. You are not dumber than these people. The game is rigged in their favor. That's like saying you're playing a chess game against someone and they have 4 queens on their board because they're cheating. That's what they're doing to you in these markets, and that's why we're talking about it. The game is rigged. You are not as, like, they think that you are idiots, and that is very, very offensive. You are not. If you do your due diligence, you can be very good in this market. Trevor, thank you so much for subscribing. So real quick, I think that if you're going to see a big pump, what I would do is I would literally look at RSIs. Look at these RSI moves, okay? I'm going to mark these off right now. You see these RSI moves. When we did go up to this level, yes, it was a push up towards that, but these levels are where I can pay attention for some kind of crossing down on a 15-minute. Okay, now if we go into a 5-minute, let's go into a 5-minute. Let's go really deep, because remember when we were looking at other stocks, all we did was went into a 5-minute and traded it back and forth, right? When we were looking at FFIE, when we were looking at, I think it was Barnes & Noble, when we were looking at a bunch of other ones, we said, well, Lucy was a big one. A 5-minute chart is going to tell you a lot. This means pullback. This means potential upside. And then the suppression of the stock. This is a halt. This was a halt. This, not this, I don't know if this one was a halt, but this one was a halt, this one was a halt, and this one was a halt. Actually, this is probably where it was halted 19 times in one day. So what do we want to do? We want to see the next time the 5 minutes curling up into positive territory. Every single time that happens, you can see big pops. Okay, but I think that this is going to be suppressed a little bit harder, so I think a 15-minute might be better. So this is just what I'm sharing with you right now. Now, in comparison with AMC, remember AMC didn't look as positive. It's still holding, remember, that resistance at 437. Now we're below it. So it is trying to go positive on a 15-minute. The problem with AMC is it wasn't positive. Now, that doesn't mean it can't run. These can run at the same time. It's just this won't have much overnight action. That's overall what we're doing here. We're just paying attention, but what you're going to see from AMC is this wonky little pullback, okay? Now, your main confirmation that the big move is happening is going to be this daily crosses up for a full day, right? This goes positive for a full day, then that's probably going to be, it's going to be pretty quick. I don't think it remains at like, you know, some kind of huge number for a long time. So that's why I'm really saying this is what I'm going to do. I might even do it with you guys live, tell you the points where I'm going, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving some runners. That way we can just talk about it in real time. This could take weeks to play out. And the reason that I'm saying all of this right now is because I want you to understand this right here. Sure, it could go positive, right? But this can be suppressed. Until we see the stock market affected, that is the main thing to pay attention to. Once the stock market starts to get affected, that's when it will most likely see the biggest push, because they need to sell these positions in order to pay for all of this. And this is something that we were talking about live. People don't think I pay attention to futures. This is something I was talking about live around this bar. Actually, it was while this downturn was happening. I was like, well, we're making 2-hour divergences here. So I don't know why everyone's not thinking this is a trap either, just based on the chart behavior. And look at that. We hold up. Okay, boom. We cross up with that divergence. Boom, it goes positive. So you're already positive in this market. So the market is going up as GME is going up. I do not think that that means that this is the overall crash moment. But if this is quick, that might be it. Okay, so we're going to pay attention to these things come in the morning. What up, Capture This? So hopefully you guys just understand how is AMC and GME related in all of this. They're not necessarily, it's just the fact that AMC is suppressed just as hard. I've done my due diligence on AMC. That's why I have it. It is suppressed. I mean, maybe not as hard as GME, but the suppression is there, and it's just as bad, if not worse, than last time. So the short seller problem is there for AMC. It is. I've done my research on it. It is there. That's all you need to know. Now, that doesn't mean that that AMC and GME have to win. It will be suppressed, and that's why I think it will be complicated. But if enough people are able to play these type of signals and hold enough of the stock, then it will play out. So what is happening here? This could take 3 weeks to play out, and that's why I really want to pay attention. If this does something like this, pulls back, maybe this is a moment where we see a big run in GME and then it turns back around. Still looking for some kind of 2-hour divergence, some kind of divergence up here for the S&P 500. Why didn't you take GME? I don't know. I don't know why. I actually went to GameStop this weekend. Now, I did advise, like, okay, so here's what I did overall, by the way. So we actually did it in a 2-way system here. So I did all the AMC side, and then my dad actually did some of the GME side. But he wasn't as convinced. I had to show him a lot of stuff, and now he's starting to text me all the time. But so it's pretty much like me and my dad kind of split it. And so he's doing GME and I'm doing AMC. So it's like I'm not in both, but my family is in both, if that makes sense. I went to his office and I talked to him about it, and we did it in real time. And I think he accumulated at, when did I talk to him? He accumulated, I told him to accumulate on this, right in this area, and then on this drop right here. So he has some kind of price average of probably about $20, maybe $21. Couldn't the market just turn down from here? It could. It could. That's the thing. This could be ripped away in the morning. They could blame it on data or whatever if they need to pay for some stuff. But I still think that the market's going to be a little more complicated than that. 4 hours able to cross up. I still think that we have to wait for XLU and that signal, unless this is going to rip it away right now. So we can still pay attention to the same signal. So what is going to tell us if we're going to see some kind of dramatic move? Well, we're going to see the dollar scale up dramatically, and we're going to see this happen, right? We're going to see the 2 hour able to curl back up. This is going to be where volatility can come back in. Now, I do think that NVIDIA has some room to run. I actually do. And I think they are going to push this up. This was a rug pull. Like, first of all, this was a rug pull. They could make the market go higher to do this again. This was a rug pull, and then this was a rug pull of your money to the upside. So now they're going to maybe push it up and then rug pull you for the last time. And that's what we're really paying attention to here. Okay. But I just wanted to be clear. I think a 15-minute chart would be good. We're going to talk about this again in the morning. I have to hop off. I'm going to go watch Ink Master with the fam for a little bit. So I literally have to hop off right away. But this is what I wanted you guys to be aware of. I wanted to talk about it for a brief moment. And I will see you guys in the morning. Peace out. I'm literally logging off right away.